If your partner is pulling away or telling you they're not sure about the relationship, you need to watch this. I'm going to explain what relationship OCD is and what you can do when someone you love has it. By the way, I'm Cameron. I'm a therapist who specializes in ROCD and relationship anxiety. I struggled with relationship anxiety for years, and now I help others get through it too. What is ROCD? ROCD, or relationship anxiety, is a struggle where a person doubts whether they're in the right relationship and whether they should stay or leave. These aren't tiny doubts. We're talking hours every day of anxiously doubting whether they should stay or leave and being terrified of making the wrong choice. I know that sounds extreme, but that's really what it's like on the inside. There's so much confusion and pressure and urgency to find an answer, to figure out, am I with the right person? And somehow it feels like everything hangs on this answer and that you can't go forward in your relationship until you figure it out. And that's the other part of ROCD. All the time the person spends in their head looking for answers to their doubts. That's why they seem so distant and preoccupied. They're in their head trying to figure out why they're doubting, if they really are in the right relationship, if their doubts mean they should leave, if their anxiety is their intuition telling them to leave, if they're in denial about needing to leave. And trust me, this gets pretty loopy. But no surprise, the more time they spend trying to find an answer, the worse the doubt gets. It's like this vicious cycle of doubting and then looking for answers and then doubting more. And as someone who had relationship anxiety, I can tell you it is very confusing and it's very painful. But it's also painful being in your situation. At some point, your partner has probably said something like, I don't know if we're right for each other. I don't know if I'm making a mistake, or I don't know if I'm in love with you. This is so painful to hear coming from the person you love and want to be with. But I want you to know your partner's doubts and whatever else they're telling you are not a reflection of you or your relationship. It's a reflection of what's going on inside their head. When you're with someone who has ROCD, you're talking to someone who has gone way down the rabbit hole. They are not thinking clearly, and the stuff they say is going to be warped. For example, you might have a great day together, and then that evening they tell you they don't know if you're right for each other. And you're like, what? That's what I mean by warped. What's going on in their head is not an accurate reflection of what's happening in the relationship. This is an embarrassing story, but when my wife and I had our 1-year anniversary while dating, my wife gave me this really sweet letter. And I just start confessing. I'm nervous. I don't know if we're right for each other. I feel so guilty. I don't want to lead you on. And that night did not go well. Looking back, I can see just how confused and mixed up I was. And when someone's thinking is confused and mixed up, they often make bad choices. When I work with someone with relationship anxiety or ROCD, I tell them, respectfully, you're not seeing things clearly right now, and you're really not in a position to make a big choice about your relationship, such as leaving. You need to get out of the rabbit hole, out of the ROCD loop. Then, once you're thinking and seeing clearly, that's when you can start making big choices. Here's an important thing for you to know. Once people recover, the far majority of them choose to stay in their relationship and report being very happy in it. In the meantime, though, until your partner recovers, you might think of their struggle in terms of sobriety. Your partner is in an altered state of mind. They're not sober. They've been doing things for hours a day that we know mess with our minds. Things like analyzing, comparing, ruminating, overthinking, monitoring how they feel when they're with you, testing how they feel when they're with you, sorting through memories, testing how they feel when they remember certain things. The list goes on. These behaviors are like intoxicants. They muddy a person's ability to think clearly. If you and I were to start doing these things, our thinking would start getting muddy too. The more your partner does them, the more mixed up their mind will be, and they need help stopping. You might ask, well, why does my partner do these things? If these things make it worse, why not just stop? I think the answer is pretty simple. They're scared and they don't know what else to do. They're not equipped to handle this differently yet. And that's where recovery comes into play. The way to recover is to learn how to handle this fear effectively. There are skills that we know work for this. Therapy is a great option. I also created an online course called Choosing Love to help people like your partner with this. It's all about learning to stop spiraling and get back into your relationship. You can find a link to it in the description below. Whatever method your partner chooses, they need to do something, because ROCD does not go away on its own. There might be better days or weeks or months, but if the person hasn't dealt with it, ROCD will come back. We have the tools. Your partner just needs to find them and use them. Now, back to you. I want to tell you the main thing not to do. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but when your partner comes to you doubting, don't try to reason with or convince them that you're right for each other. Don't try to solve their doubts. For example, if they tell you, I don't know if we're right for each other, don't start listing all the ways you think you're right for each other. Don't try to convince them. It just plays more into the ROCD loop. Again, it's counterintuitive, but it makes it worse. So, even if you feel tempted to engage with their doubts, don't take the bait. When they confess their doubts to you, I want you to see that as bait. Don't take it. Instead, here are two things you can do. First, gently but firmly push your partner to get help. Whatever method they choose, they need to address this for things to change. 2, the other thing to do is to hold your boundaries. Don't let their doubts shake you or your confidence. Their doubts are not about you. Your partner might make it sound like it's about you, but it's not. Even if they say things that sound very personal about you, like, I don't know if I'm attracted to you enough, that's about them and their confused state of mind. If they're being judgmental or critical of you, which sometimes happens with ROCD, tell them, stop it. Don't treat me this way. You need to figure your stuff out. Don't put it on me. Don't scapegoat me. Don't judge me. Your job is to stay kind, firm, and separate. You can say things like, I love you, I support you, I feel for you, really, I see you're hurting. But I can't be your therapist, I can't be your scapegoat, and I'm not going to chase answers with you. When you do this, you're going for loving, but boundaried. You're present, you're caring, but you're not getting wrapped into the cycle with them. Again, this is your partner's struggle, something that only they can deal with. You can support them from the sidelines, but you can't solve it for them. Here are 2 reasons to be hopeful, though. First, the far majority of people overcome relationship OCD if they find the right approach. The second point of hope, I've worked with a lot of people with ROCD who have overcome it. They end up making really good partners. Once they find their way out of the rabbit hole and start feeling more like themselves again, their real self, their higher self, all those good qualities that you saw in the person you fell for shine through again. All this to say, it is worth hanging in there and giving them a chance. If you want to show your partner a next step, go to the description below and click on the link to my online course. It's called Choosing Love, How to Find Peace from ROCD. The whole point of the course is teaching people with ROCD how to stop spiraling and get back into their relationship. People who take the course tell me they have more clarity, they confess their doubts way less, and they actually start to enjoy being in love again. If your partner is open to it, send them the link. It could be the beginning of real change for them and you. Your relationship is not doomed. Your partner can get through this if they find the right approach.